I've noticed that when I'm looking at nominations that have text changes, that we now have this new option here, this report. I wanted to go through what's in here so you know what type of nominations you can use this button for to report to Niantic. All right, it says, why do you want to report this waste spot? They have abuse, and this is an important definition because, of course, lately everybody's been talking about abuse of the system and getting banned, so you really want to pay attention to this one. They're describing it as title, description, and or photo is offensive, objectionable, includes hate speech against a protected group. I can tell you, personally, I don't think I've ever seen one of those, and I have been reviewing for years. So I would guess it depends on the area and where people are submitting, but in my particular area, I don't see a lot of what they would term abuse. The next one is fake nomination. I found this definition really telling. It says an obviously fake nomination due to a combination of abusive behaviors such as doctored photos, copied photos, or screenshotted photos with generic or falsified titles and descriptions based on your local knowledge of the community. What popped into my head with this one is many years ago, I think it was 2021, I was getting a lot of nominations in this really small little rundown neighborhood in Mexico that had dirt roads. And wow, they just had the most amazing murals everywhere. But every time I went to Street View, it showed this little rundown house on a dirt lot. I realized this is the kind of thing they're targeting with fake nominations. They are not targeting the people that put, say, a statue from their house outside of their apartment complex, nominate it, get it through, take it back to their house, put it back on display in their house, and it's never actually there. That's not what they're describing as fake nominations. I found that very interesting. The next one is influencing reviewers. And this says nominations with content that tries to sway and influence votes, such as dropping a code name or code word in the title, description, or photo, or making voting requests in the title, description, supporting information, or photo. I find this one interesting because although I will hold it against the person if they do it in the title or the description, I don't tend to hold it against them in supporting information. So if they go in there and they say, well, I think this would make a great Pokestop, I personally am not holding it against them, but realize that based on this criteria, any of that can be held against you. So be careful on that one. The next one says explicit content. Niantic does not give you a definition, so they're leaving it up to you to decide what is explicit content. I would consider it things that children shouldn't see, more adult-oriented material. We'll just leave it at that. The next one, offensive content. This would really go back to this abuse. It says includes hate speech against a protected group with whatever is in their title, description, or supporting information. Do you think it could be offending somebody or a group of people? So again, Niantic does not define it, so we don't know exactly what their thought processes are here, but that would be up to the reviewer to decide what they think is offensive. So I think this is all very important. Niantic is probably using all of these with their definitions, except for explicit content and offensive content, which have no definition. But this is probably the stuff they're using to ban players and to give them warnings. So if I were you, if you didn't pay attention to this video, make sure you go in and read them yourselves and don't do any of these things if you're nominating a Pokestop or something in Ingress.